Welcome back, dear students. In the previous class, we had seen that the daughter of the ironmaster, she argues in favor of the rat trap seller and allowed him to stay in their house. The rat trap peddler was totally astonished by this attitude of Edla because he had never seen anyone talking to him like this before, talking for him, in fact, talking in favor of him before. The whole day, the rat trap seller did nothing and did not create any problem in their house, as he did nothing but he slept and slept the whole day round. He was aroused to have his portion of the Christmas feast. He had porridge and fish. I think yesterday we stopped at that. Now after this, let's continue after this. Are you ready for it? Yeah. As soon as they got up from the table, he went around to each one present and said thank you and good night. But when he came to the young girl, she gave him to understand that it was her father's intention and that the suit which he wore was to be the Christmas present. He did not have to return it. And if he wanted to spend next Christmas Eve in a place where he could rest in peace and be sure that no evil would befall him, he would be welcomed back again. So, this time we have seen that after having his porridge and fish, he got up and he wanted to thank Edla as well as her father. He thanked Edla's father and then went around to the young lady to thank him, to thank her. But when he reaches there, she accepts his thank and then she informs him that the suit that he was wearing was supposed to be his Christmas gift from her father. And he need not return it. And then next year again, she promises the same thing. That is, if he wanted a night's stay, or a good sleep, or a peaceful day, okay, he could return back on the Christmas Eve to their house. So this is what she tries to tell him. The man with the rat traps did not answer anything to this. He only stared at the young girl in boundless amazement. So the rat trap seller was awe-stricken, or you can say just he was speechless at this caring and this soft, tender attitude of this lady. So he did not say anything. Instead, he kept on staring the young lady in boundless amazement. Boundless amazement means he was totally surprised. There was no boundary, there was no limit to his surprise. In such a surprised manner, he was staring at this young girl, that in spite of knowing that he is a rat trap seller, he is a tramp, he is not the person whom her father had mistaken him to be. Everything, in spite of knowing everything, she was allowing him in their house. And not only today, but next year again, she is inviting him and promising him for a good night and a good food. The next morning, the ironmaster and his daughter got up in good season. We had come across this good season before. Yeah, do you remember? Yeah, in a good mood. So, the next morning, the ironmaster, that is, next morning means it's Christmas Day. Okay. So, on that day, the ironmaster and his daughter got up in good mood to go to the early Christmas service. So actually it said that the whole night they continue with their Christmas service, and it's early in the morning at around 4 or 5 they go to the church. They have their Christmas mass. The Christmas service is known as the Christmas mass. They have it, and then they return home by 8:39. Okay, this is the time when they return home, and after that they prepare the food and everything, and then they have their Christmas feast. So this ironmaster and his daughter got up early in the morning to go for the Christmas mass. Their guest was still asleep and they did not disturb him. Who is the guest here? Yes, it's the rat trap seller. So the rat trap seller was very fast asleep, and so these two people, that is the ironmaster and Edla, they thought that they should not disturb him because it's first time maybe in his life he has got a place where he could sleep or he could have a sound sleep. So they did not disturb him. When at about 10 o'clock they drove back from the church, the young girl sat and hung her head even more dejectedly than usual. So now, after the mass, when they were returning, 10 o'clock, about 10 o'clock, they returned back from the church, and this time the girl was hanging her head down in dejection. What do you mean by dejection? Disappointment. In disappointment, she had heard or come to know about something that made her all the more disappointed. So she was hanging her head down. At church, she had learned that one of the old crofters of the ironworks had been robbed by a man who went around selling rat traps. Now, this was another idea that she got at the church. Maybe the father had announced. Okay, the priest. The father means the priest at the church might have announced it, that the old crofter, remember the crofter's 30 krona? Yeah. So, the old crofter had been devoid of, or had been robbed of his 30 kronas, and he was robbed by a man who was selling rat traps around. So it was very much evident the person in the house was the person who had stolen the money. Now, what do you think the father, that is the Edla's father, the ironmaster, how do you think he might have reacted to Edla? Yeah, can you just think about it? Even when our parents ask us not to do something, and when we do it and when we fall into problems, how do they react? Yeah, true. You can associate yourself to that situation. They say, I told you earlier, right? Yes, you should not have done that. So this is what Edla's father might also have said to her. So that's why she was totally disappointed, and she was very much tensed up about the situation. Yes, that was a fine fellow you let into the house, said her father. I only wonder how many silver spoons are left in the cupboard by this time. So, as I told you, the pinching, the way to pinch someone. So here also he is trying to pinch his daughter for not adhering to his words. So he says, you have allowed a very good person into our house, the father said. And I don't know how many silver spoons might have been there. He might have left it in a house. That is, in other words, he is saying that he might have stolen everything from a house and left the house. This is what he is trying to say. The wagon had hardly stopped at the front steps when the ironmaster asked the valet whether the stranger was still there. He added that he had heard at the church that the man was a thief. The valet answered that the fellow had gone and that he had not taken anything with him at all. So here the valet, as soon as it was almost the carriage had come to a standstill at their door, the ironmaster jumped out of the carriage and ran towards the house. He inquired from the valet in the house. Remember the valet? Yeah, the male servant. Not maid servant, but male servant. So he inquired with that valet whether the stranger, the rat trap seller, was still there or not. So the valet says, no sir, he has already left the place. And the ironmaster also informed him that he had heard at the church that the man was a thief. But then he says the man has gone, but he has not taken anything at all. On the contrary, he had left behind a little package which Miss Wilmanson was to be kind enough to accept as a Christmas present. So, it was not that he did not take anything from the house, but instead he had left a small packet, as a Christmas gift for Edla Wilmanson, and she should be kind enough to accept this package. This is what the valet says. The young lady opened the package. So the young lady, she opens the package and she is really shocked. okay, to see what was really inside it. The young girl opened the package, which was so badly done up that the contents came into view at once. She gave a little cry of joy. She found a small rat trap in it. A small rat trap, and in it lay 3 wrinkled 10 kroner notes. But that was not all. So, the packing was not done properly. Now, what was inside could be seen without even opening the package. But then she opened the package. She saw that in the packet there was a small rat trap, and inside the rat trap, okay, there were 3 10 kroner notes. So it was another symbolic thing that now he has escaped, leaving the bait inside the rat trap. Okay, that is also a symbolic concept, that he has been able to escape from this worldly rat trap, leaving the bait that he had touched and was about to be trapped. Okay, but now he is not trapped, he is no more, he is relieved from that, and he has left the bait as such in the little rat trap. And not only that, there was something else in the rat trap. Let's see what it is. In the rat trap lay also a letter written in large jagged characters. So, in the rat trap, along with the 3 10 kroner notes, there was a letter which was written in the alphabets of the letters were huge and jagged, that is irregular, not in a perfect shape or size. Okay, so the letter goes, let's read the letter. It goes something like this. Honored and noble miss. Whom is he addressing to? Yes, it's to Edla Wilmanson. Since you have been so nice to me all day long, as if I was a captain, I want to be nice to you in return, as if I was a real captain. For I do not want you to be embarrassed at this Christmas season by a thief. But you can give back the money to the old man on the roadside who has the pouch hanging on the window frame as a bait for poor wanderers. The rat trap is a Christmas present from a rat who would have been caught in this worldly rat trap if he had not been raised to captain, because in this way he got power to clear himself. Written with friendship and high regards, Captain Wonstale. So now in the letter he says that because you have been so good to me, you have given me so much of care, love and affection. Okay, I want to return that to you, return the same love, care and affection back to you. And due to your love, care and affection, I really felt that I have been uplifted to the rank of the position of a captain. And so I don't want you to be embarrassed due to a thief on this particular Christmas season. And I want you to return this 30 kroner note back to that old man who lives near the roadside. That is Crofter. Okay. And he is hanging. He is true. The rat trap seller is true when he says that this man has been hanging the particular pouch carrying these kroner notes by the side of the window, as if it was a bait for thieves like him, peddlers like him, who are really in need of money. The people in need of money, you cannot blame them. It's your responsibility to keep things safe. So here he says, please return these 30 kroner notes back to the old crofter who hangs on the window frame the pouch carrying the money as a bait for poor wanderers like me. And this rat trap is a Christmas present from a rat. That is, this rat symbolizes the rat trap seller. So he is saying from a rat who would have been caught in this rat trap, worldly rat trap, if only this lady would not have helped him to come out of this particular worldly rat trap. And so he says, if he would not have been raised, that is, if he would not have been given respect and love and affection and care that a captain gets, from Edla, then he would have been trapped. He would have been trapped in the worldly rat trap. But because of his love, he was able to escape, and he was able to clear himself up. That is, he was able to change his devilish or his evil attitude into a normal human being. And then he signs as Captain Wonstale. Why do you think he signs as Captain Wonstale? Was he really Captain Wonstale? What do you think? Or is that he is cheating this lady? No, he is neither cheating the lady nor is he Captain Wonstale. Instead, he wants to convince her that he will never change. He'll keep up that attitude of a captain, an educated person. Okay, he'll never go into a wrong path. Signing as Captain Wonstale is like assuring her or giving her a promise that now on he will always keep up the attitude of a captain. Okay, now tomorrow, children, we'll stop with here. With this, we have come to the end of the chapter. Tomorrow, we'll have discussions on the long questions and short questions, how to write them. Okay, please do go through the whole lesson once again before we go into the long questions. Thank you.